my name is Christina and welcome to the first episode of our Read It or Unhaul It series. I came up with this 24-hour readathon from Olivia Reads a Latte. She's doing a Read It or Unhaul It type of series on her channel, and I think that's such a great idea to get through your TBR, especially books that you've had on your shelves or on your list for a while that you probably have forgot about. I have about 69 physical TBR books on my bookshelves that I am planning on reading or rereading this year, hopefully. And I like to get through them, and the best way to do that for me is to do a challenge. And I love 24-hour readathons. I think they are a lot of fun. Mind you, I don't stay up a whole 24 hours because I am a mom of two. I do have stuff to do at home and I do work full-time. At the moment I'm not working because I'm on leave because I just had a baby on Thanksgiving Day of 2024. You might hear him in the background, but when I do go back to work I'm gonna be very busy, so I can't do a 24-hour readathon. I need my sleep. So instead of doing a full 24 hours, I'll just do 12 hours today and then 12 hours the next day. I have 69 physical TBR books. This does include 2 series that I'm rereading and then also new books that I accumulated and bought over time. I also have 243 books on my Goodreads TBR list, and it keeps growing. And probably 30% of those books I'm not really interested in. So, but I feel like if I don't give them a chance, I'm missing out. So the first thing I did for this readathon was write down the top 25 oldest books on my Goodreads TBR list, and I put them in little balls. I did put them in categories, like different colors represent a different genre. So we have green for fantasy, blue for thrillers and horrors and all that scary stuff, yellow for other genres that I don't know where they go, and pink for romance. I chose 25 because 25 balls fit nicely in here. And my rule before I DNF is I try to give a book at least 100 pages before I decide to DNF it or sell it or get rid of it or just not finish it. I think 100 pages is a good amount, right? It used to be where I would read 50% of the book, but I don't want to torture myself. So yeah, so let's go ahead and choose our first book. I am in a thriller mood, so I think it might be best to pick a blue ball. That's what I like about putting them, like color coding them, because if I'm a mood reader that day, this helps a lot. So we're gonna pick a blue ball. Let's go with, I guess, this one. It's in the center. Dearest by Jackie Walters was chosen for our first read of this 24-hour readathon. I'm really nervous about it because it is a horror and I haven't read a horror in such a long time. So here we have it, our first book. Let's read the synopsis, but not the whole thing because I don't want to like have any type of expectations. I'm just gonna read this little green blurb. A new mom in need of help opens the door to her long estranged mother, only to invite something much darker inside. Ooh, I hope this doesn't trigger me because when it comes to like kids and babies and stuff like that, I really get triggered, but let's give it a go. So usually after this, I do toss the little paper and then I replace the ball that I just took with a new book. But let's start our first read of the 24-hour readathon. Today is Friday the 10th, 10 o'clock, so yay. Let's pick a bookmark. Oh, let's do this one. This is a quote by Stephen King. Books are a uniquely portable magic. Cheers. Guys, I did finish Dearest by Jackie Walters, and it's 3 o'clock right now. I will say in the beginning of this book, especially like the first 200 pages, I did really enjoy where the author was taking it. It was fast-paced, the chapters were short. I was like, oh, this is like a good average thriller horror book. Okay. Not that scary, nothing like really triggered me, which I was surprised because it's about a mom, first-time mom, and a baby, but nothing really thrilling happened. Like there were some parts where I was like, oh gosh, but that's it. But then after the 200-page mark, I just felt like the author was throwing a bunch of different like jump scare tactics that you find in like really bad horror movies, like the really cringy, really bad ones, and there was just too many of them that she was throwing at me as the reader, where I felt like I was like, what am I reading? It felt like a fever dream, honestly. There was just too much being thrown at once that just didn't really make sense, and I just felt like she was trying to rearrange the story, but it wasn't working. I just didn't really like it very much. So I am gonna unhaul it, even though I did finish it, and I'm giving it 2 stars. It's just not a book I want to keep in my collection. I just not satisfied with it, so I will be selling it on my Pango Books along with other books I'm gonna unhaul. If you guys aren't familiar with Pango Books, this is not sponsored or anything, by the way. It's just a site or an app where you can sell your bookish items, books and stuff like that for a very low thrifted price. So like this book I would sell probably for like $6 or something like that. But yeah, we picked it out, we tried it, we read the whole book, but it's just not for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and unhaul it from my collection, even though I read it. 2 stars, and let's go pick our next book for the 24-hour readathon. Door in the Dark. So we're reading A Door in the Dark by Scott Reichen. I don't know much about this book at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it, read the first 100 pages, and then let you guys know if I'm gonna read it or unhaul it. Hi guys, good morning. It's the very next day, so I thought I'd give you guys an update on the book. I am way over the 100-page mark, past the 100-page mark, and I'm really enjoying this book so far. So the question is, am I gonna read it or unhaul it? And I'm gonna keep reading it because this is actually really good and I'm really surprised. So what this is about, you follow a main character named Ren, and she is trying to enroll or get accepted or recruited to a specific house. There's a bunch of different houses, and there's like a magic system in this book, and each house has like a different type of like power of some sort, I guess, and every single person, wizard in the school district has a different type of power, and Ren is known for being a fact checker, being a smart ass, being very smart. Like she goes by facts, and she's very intelligent, and she memorizes maps and information, and she's just pretty much a know-it-all. And a lot of people, I guess, in this universe or in this district that she's in don't really appreciate that because she's such a smart ass. But one day she and her fellow wizards end up having some type of argument in a portal room, which triggered them to be jumped into an area of the place, like the planet they live on, but on the very opposite side of their homes. So they're kind of lost and they need to work together to get back home. And it's actually so good. Like, I love the writing style. It really grasps you in, and the chapters are also very short, so it is fast paced. Like, I just can't put it down. And I like, that was my son. It's like crazy. So this is a fantasy thriller, like that's what it's labeled as. So there's no romance or anything like that, which is usually what I prefer in my fantasies, but I'm loving this so much. It is a first book in a trilogy. I think the third and final book is coming out this February. I think February 5th. If I'm right or wrong, I'll put the date up here for you guys. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. I was like not expecting to like it, but I really would just want to finish this book and move on to the next one. I mean like the next book in the series, but I don't have it and I can't be buying books right now. But I did add it to my birthday wish list because I'm turning 31 in April. Do I look 31? But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I have about 200 pages left of the book, so my goal is to finish it in the next like 3 hours if I read without any type of interruptions. But yeah, I'm really glad we started this challenge because I probably would not have picked this book up this year. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into this. I hope I can finish it really soon, and then when I do, I'll give you guys an update, because what if I change my mind like the last book? The last book I enjoyed in the beginning and then I completely hated it. So stay tuned. Hi guys, so I just finished A Door in the Dark by Scott Rington, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. It was so good. Highly recommend it. I really loved the fast-paced chapters and writing. I loved the ending. Such a huge cliffhanger. Really makes you think about the main character and her motives. And I love the thriller aspect. I love like the kind of like the Hunger Games type of feel, because they are lost and they are also being followed by a creature that looks a lot like their friend, which is not a spoiler because it happens like right away in the book. And wow, you guys, I'm really curious what happens in the second book, so I did add that to my Amazon wish list, and I hope I can purchase it soon because I just want to read more of this trilogy. It's really good. Highly recommend it. So now we're gonna move on to our next book, since I still have not 12 hours, I have like 6 hours today. So let's do that. Here's the little cloud thing, and I'm in the mood for another fantasy, so let's pick a green one. Okay, I'm having a hard time opening some of these. Let's grab another green one. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know what it is. Oh my god. It says A Curious Beginning. I believe this is another duology. Okay, so we have A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. I don't know anything about this one. I do know that a few of my friends have read it and they enjoyed it. So let's go ahead and read the first 100 pages, and then I'll let you guys know if I'm going to continue reading it or unhaul it.
Your status in me, if men's indeed all sexuality is basically immoral in my life.
Hi guys, so update. I'm on page 102 of A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn, and I don't know how to feel about this book. So quick synopsis: we follow a character named Veronica Speedwell, and she just experienced a loss of one of her aunts, and literally right after the funeral her life is threatened by some stranger. She is taken by another stranger who ends up dead, and now she's with this man named Mr. Stoker, who is now dedicated to protect her and keep her safe. From whom we don't know, from what we don't know, and honestly it's very dragged out at this point. And also the stuff I mentioned, not a spoiler, it's literally right on the back of the book, but it's so dragged out that I'm kind of like getting a little bit bored. So I don't know if I should keep reading it or unhaul it. I don't know, but I feel like FOMO right now, where I feel like I'm missing something if I DNF it right now. So what I'm gonna do, because we do still have a couple hours left of this 24-hour readathon, I'm gonna go ahead and read for those 2 more hours. So hopefully get another like 50 to 100 pages in, and then make my decision. So stay tuned. We'll get back. I want to love it, but right now I'm bored and it's not keeping me, it's not grasping my attention. But I'm also curious, like who she, because the main character herself doesn't know why someone's after her. She has no idea. So we're all clueless right now. Hi guys, so it's been a couple hours and I thought I'd go ahead and wrap up this readathon. First book we started and finished during this readathon was Dearest by Jackie Walters. I decided to continue reading it and not unhaul it. I didn't really like it and gave it 2 stars. Then we picked A Door in the Dark by Scott Readathon. I decided to continue reading it and I really enjoyed it. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I do want to pick up the sequel as soon as possible. And the third book that we picked up was A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn, and I was very confused about this book after the 100-page mark. I wasn't sure if I want to continue it, but I also didn't want to DNF it just yet. I did read a bit more than halfway through it. But the readathon did end, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just finish reading it because I am curious how it's gonna end. I do know that it's part of a series or a duology, so we'll just see how I feel towards the end. And if you guys are curious what my thoughts are on this book, I highly suggest following me on Instagram, since I do post my book reviews after I finish every single book I read on my Instagram story. But at this very moment, I'm just gonna continue reading it because I'm just so curious. So yes. Didn't manage to finish it, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. I do hope you guys enjoyed my very first episode of Read It or Unhaul It. If you guys want to see more of this series, please give this video a thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!